Hello, and welcome to Brand Clarity by Visions to Images, where we focus on strategy and business development for entrepreneurs at all different levels through branding and digital marketing techniques. Susie Liberatore is the founder and art director of Visions to Images Creative Services, LLC. For the last decade, she has personally been instrumental in bridging gaps between the global digital market and neighborhood locations for some of the biggest brands around. Growth is possible for even a single location with the right professional branding techniques and Susie's signature strategies of Visions to Images. Stand out from your competitors and bring your visions to life while watching your sales skyrocket. Your host for this is Susie Liberatore, owner of Visions to Images. Hello, everybody. Today I have Amy Williams on the podcast, and she's with Afficient Consulting. And she and I connected actually through an event online during COVID. And then we connected on LinkedIn and we just kind of kept in touch and chatted and whatnot. And I'm excited to kind of have her on because she is super talented, has so much knowledge in the business world. So I'm excited to have her on and chat with her.
Thanks for having me, Susie.
Absolutely. So my first question is kind of tell me how you got started. Tell me how you even got in this field, why you switched to being a business owner, all of the things.
Yeah. So I went to school for teaching, actually, and decided that I didn't want to be stuck in a box and teach to the test. And so oddly enough, full circle, here I am teaching and serving and helping other entrepreneurs to do better in their business. So it's really interesting. Once I decided I wasn't going to go into teaching, I did finish my degree. And then I went back to school for event management and floral design and really loved the event industry. And over time, I found that even though I loved the event industry, what I really, truly had a passion for was the operations, the processes, the procedures. People called me very black and white, which is not a bad thing, but there's always a purpose and a reason behind doing every single thing that you do in your business. And I just really enjoy coming alongside business owners and helping them solve their problems that they have on a daily or weekly basis and just make things in their business easier for them. So, along the journey, I kind of just followed my passion and I jumped in and made a leap of faith along the way in each different opportunity that came alongside where I was at the moment. And that's what's got me here.
Yes, I love it. Yeah, I think everybody kind of goes to the teaching at some point or another. I wanted to be a teacher and then I realized that there was too much involved in a sense where I don't like school and I wanted to do more of the artistic stuff. So I eventually got my bachelor's in fine arts. But it's good to know kind of what your strengths are and where you want to be. And, with any business owner, having operations in place and procedures and all that is so important no matter where they're starting in their business. And I think that people let it come. I think they overlook it, right? Like they're like, oh, I don't need this now, or I don't need this. And then by the time they need it, it's too late and they're like scrambling to get something done. And I know I've gone through that multiple times. So what do you recommend somebody if they're kind of in that situation? Is it better to get started sooner rather than later on procedures?
I think that everybody has systems, whether they're written down or not. That's the big takeaway from it. Everyone kind of gets into a rhythm or gets into habits of what works best for their business. And I was reading started a book last week called Profit First by Mike Michalowicz, which is a great book for anyone who's looking to increase your profit within your business. And he was talking about the concept that people who are given completely new strategies or new softwares completely have a really hard time grasping them and holding on to them because they fall back into their old habits. And so what is really interesting is taking the habits that you have, finding what I like to call moments, those times that you sigh or those times during the day that you're like, I really don't want to do this. Automate them so that they go away completely. Putting those into your daily and weekly habits then make it easier because you're not trying to completely change how your business runs. Your business is unique and runs that way for a reason. So why not find things within your business that makes it easier for you or again, automated where it just goes away and it happens automatically. That's kind of where I would start.
Yeah. Automation is so key. And I mean, I'm always working on automations. I mean, there's simple things I can do each and every single day instead of even hiring a VA. I mean, like just setting up the bookings of calls and the emails that go each time. All of that is like super important. You think it's not time consuming, but it's just one of those things. Oh, I forgot to send it. Oh, I should have sent it. Oh, I should have did this. So I think that automations are so important. And that's just one example. I mean, there's so many examples of automation. And it's only getting more and more powerful each and every day. I mean, there's bots, there's all these crazy things, and bots might not be automation in a sense, but it kind of is. You can have that chat feature and then not really get into it as much because they have to go through like a funnel in a sense where they ask questions and then it can reply. And then eventually it goes to the person where they can have that one-to-one conversation. And a lot of people used to have fear or I don't like talking to bots. I mean, it's like even when you call on an automated system, you have to go through the process, click here, click here. It's all the same stuff. And that's how the world is changing each and every day, whether we like it or not. It's just automation is important and it's there for a reason.
Yeah. And I think that there's a fine line of where it becomes helpful to the people on both ends, from the business side and from the customer service side. And then it's going too far in a sense where you're, like you said, you get frustrated because you're on the customer service side and you just keep hitting zero, or you keep writing whatever you need to into the chat bot to get actually someone to help you with the thing that you need help with. So I think it's a fine balance of finding things where you're giving your customers really good customer service, but not going so far that you then cause frustration to those who want to work with you.
Absolutely. No, I 100% agree. I mean, it's one of those things, the automation's just simple and then you get on there. But it has to be set up strategically, like you're saying, 100%, because I hate when I have to get through to customer service people and it's 000 and it's like you can't get through. So it has to be set up and it has to be efficient depending on how your business is ran. I mean, if you have a great team that can sit there and support it, then sure, go for it. So it just depends. But yeah, I love automation. I love process and procedures and all that stuff. It's been one of the biggest things I've actually worked on probably in 2021. I mean, even like you said, it's writing it down, it's getting it out there. I mean, if I want to take a break, how do I take a break and give it to somebody else, right? Like that's the biggest thing as a business owner that I think I need to improve on is not taking everything on and being like, okay, I can delegate, I can take time off, I can do all of these things. I mean, I started to do like an operation procedure for my LinkedIn like strategies. So what I do like every single day, what I do for Facebook, all these things that can easily be outsourced to a VA, right? So it's just that connection and stuff because I don't want to automate it. I want it to be personalized, but I don't want to do it. Hey there, I want to interrupt this episode with a quick message. If you're listening to this podcast episode and want to learn about branding your franchise or small business, then go to brandingbridge.com. That's branding-bridge.com.
It's really interesting to talk about the consistency and being able to have a voice of a company and taking the time to writing those things down, even though it does take some time. But setting standards for your company not only is going to help you as a business owner, but it's going to help anybody else that you bring on, whether it be a subcontractor or whether it be a virtual assistant, a VA, or, full-time or part-time employees. At least they know from a standpoint of what you're wanting to portray, what you are wanting to what the standards are for the business, then can be put into place by anybody else who might come along. And you hit it on the head. Everybody needs time away to re-energize and for mental health and all those kind of things. And so it's really good to be able to take the time to write things down or audio record things or video record things if you don't want to do it in writing, but starting to write down what you do on a daily basis or the process on how to send invoices or how to schedule social media posts. All those things are going to benefit you being able to walk away from your business, whether it be for a long extended weekend, whether it be for vacation out of the country, whether it be for retirement, to think down the road. It's interesting because the other day I said, you don't have to write down all of your processes. You just have to write down or document the ones that you don't want to do.
Right.
And it hit me that, from a standpoint of retirement someday, hopefully you'd want to get rid of all of them, but they have to be documented in a way where somebody else can walk alongside you and do them for you, whether you're gone for a day or you're gone for a year.
Right. 100%. I love it. Yeah. So important. And I mean, I'm one of those people that needs to do more of it. I'm guilty of it all. So yes, it's all in progress because I mean, I don't want to be the person behind it, everything all the time. There's just no way. No business owner can do it all. So tell me, what are you most excited about right now?
Really excited about the companies that I'm walking alongside. I, no two companies are the same. And so I really enjoy digging into their business, learning about it, learning how it works, what their goals are, what they want to achieve within the next month, quarter, year, and just helping them to get to where they want to be. I think from a standpoint of being willing to be open and transparent and having a 10,000-foot view from someone who's not in your business every day is so valuable to have that outside perspective. And I just really enjoy it. So it's really what I'm excited about is learning about the businesses that are trying to or do serve others on a daily basis. And I love serving them.
Yeah, that's so awesome. I mean, I love what you said. No two businesses are like totally understand. I mean, even in the creative field, like nobody is the same and everybody has different goals and objectives and, different missions, etc. So that's honestly what makes me happy and excited every single day is that nothing is alike. No two customers are alike. Everybody's got different stuff. Whereas in the corporate world, I couldn't have different things to get me excited and different projects and whatnot, right? Because it was so boxed in and it was the same client essentially the whole time. Whereas here you get to have that creativity and flow and it's exciting for me. So
yeah, it's interesting because the creative side of business, most of the businesses that I work for is a different side of the brain than what the detail and organization and processes and all those kind of things are. And so I think that's too what makes me excited to work within the field of creativity is because I get to work alongside someone as long as they're open to a lot more collaboration than competition. It's interesting because we can really gel together. And the idea behind the processes being in place then open up the time that creatives need to be more creative.
Oh, absolutely. 100%. Like that's my biggest thing. And I mean, side note here, I'm the creative and I like procedures and operations and stuff like that. Like that's totally outside my league. Like that's one of those things I dread. I hate, like I can do videos of it, but it's one of those things like where I have to gather all my thoughts and like talk about it and figure out what I even do because it's always multitasking. It's always doing a million things. That's just how my brain works. So if you could give anybody advice today, what kind of advice would you give them, whether it's starting off, whether they're trying to get the procedures and stuff in place, what kind of advice would you give them?
The biggest shared experience I could provide is to continue to give yourself and your business the time and the effort that it deserves. Once so many clients come on board, it's very easy for us to put the business on the back burner and work more in the business than on the business. But I've really tried to encourage business owners to put their business on the calendar or into their schedule as a client and really treat it as one that needs help, needs time, and just to give it the time and effort it deserves. So, I would just encourage, from one of your other podcasts that I listened to, somebody said, you can't climb a mountain without the right tools. And it just hit me that if you don't give your business the time, and the effort that it needs to give it the right tools, then it can't climb the mountain either.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I mean, that's the huge thing for me right now is trying to get systems and all that in place because it needs to keep growing and forming that mountain, like climbing each step in order for it to even scale beyond belief and be even more profitable. Because I do want to take time off and I don't want to do everything and be working all the time as many entrepreneurs, it's the burnout. We don't want that to happen. So that's why all of those things are so important.
Well, I'd love for you or anyone who's listening, if you are in a spot where you're like, I would love to work on processes or write them down. I just don't know where to start, or I don't know how to put it in writing. I'd love to connect and just have a short conversation and, see if I can help or provide a template, because I think that once you get started, it's a lot easier, but sometimes you just don't know where to start. And I would love to help however I can.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, that's always the hardest part. So many times, even in the marketing and branding, like when nobody knows where to start or they want to do it themselves and whatnot, but you have to start something and you have to be efficient and have strategy and all of that for every part of your business, not just the marketing. And so, yeah, I love that you have that. So, yeah, we will put your link in the bio as well, and then they can connect with you there. Is there anything else you'd like to share?
I think that's it. Thanks so much for having me today.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, everybody, for listening in on today's Brand Clarity episode with Susie Liberatore. 2 things. First and foremost, please, if you liked this episode, please subscribe and leave some positive reviews. Also, don't forget to sign up for Stop Sending Your Customers to the Competition and get my insider secrets to compelling branding that converts. You can find that at branding-bridge.com. It's a free workbook for you to check out right now. All of the branding techniques and strategies that I use for my paying clients.